Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. It's Monday, which means Inktober52. That's the Inktober once a week challenge. I don't know how long it's been going for, but I found out about it last year and decided to add it to my live streaming this year on Mondays. And so what we have here is my Inktober supplies that I received as goodies for attending and participating in the Inktober retreat last October. So, let me show you what I've got, what I'm working with. I'll probably just use this kit all year unless something runs out, and then I'll replace it with something. First thing in here is this set of zebra items. It includes, what is that, 5 each of their mild liners and their, what are they calling these? Fine liners. I'd never used these Sarasa fine liners before. I'd used their gel pens, the Sarasa gel pens, but so far so good with those when I used them last time. So I've got these at my disposal. So it's interesting because it's also a little bit of color I can add to my ink drawings if I so desire. And let's see this next thing in here. Well, here's the sketchbook I'm using. It's this nice Inktober one. I don't know if it came out last year, but it was definitely available for purchase last year. It's from Moleskine. And I was super glad that I didn't actually buy it because I got it as part of the retreat benefits, I guess. And so this is the one I did last time. I like that this bookmarker matches with this gray from the zebra set, even though I don't think they were coordinated, 2 different brands. I mean, maybe they were, but I think it's really cool that it matches this drawing. So that's what I'm going to be doing all the drawings in. I don't remember if I found out how many pages are in here, but oh, I had this thing. I found this thing. All right, it didn't say. But I wanted to, while I was thinking about it, this was the wrap that was around the book. I wanted to put it in this nice little pocket in the back. There. Okay, so here's the sketchbook I'm using. I love it when sketchbooks, at least hardback sketchbooks, I don't know if I'd want it on a softback sketchbook, but I love it when they have this little band right there. Oh, here's another thing. It's another zebra item. So almost all, or maybe all the pens I'm using are zebra. And this is it says Hude Sign. So it's a brush sign pen. And it comes with a small, oh, let me hold it where it's kind of visible. A small end and a large end. Large-ish. I think they call it medium. Yeah. Medium and fine is what's on there. Oh, this wasn't part of the pack. But it's part of it wasn't part of the stuff I got from the Inktober retreat last year. But it's part of my kit for Inktober52 this year. It's a 2-point, it's called a long point. So it's a 2-step sharpener for the pencils I'm going to use, which I have a bunch of Blackwing pencils and they're so nice, but I never think to use them. I usually reach for a mechanical pencil. So I figured Inktober52 or just Inktober in general, I'll start using these, and I haven't even been erasing them unless I have a line that I want to fix, but the sketchy lines I've been leaving it too. So that's why I have this in here. And then this was also not part of the kit I got at the retreat. I just added it for this year's Inktober drawings. And then here's another zebra pen. This one is not double-ended. It says Hude Sign as well, but it's just a medium. So it's they gave us a medium one that was just a medium by itself, and then they gave us a medium one that also came with a small. So this end is the same. It's the same size. Same color. So what I was doing was using this one for filling in spaces with ink and using this one for doing lining work that I want to be more brush-like. Because otherwise, it kind of bothers me a little bit to not be able to have a specific purpose for this one. Like, this one feels obsolete because this one already has it, and it's like a 2-in-1. Anyway, I think that's it. Oh, no, there's one more thing in here. Oh, it's because the cap came off. My special metal Blackwing pencil cap. I guess I've got to put it on harder next time. I got these. Weren't cheap, but it's really nice to have pencil caps. I usually just use a plastic one, but when I saw there was an actual Blackwing branded one, I couldn't help myself and I got it. Okay, so that's it. And I'm just using this little cute Shiba Inu bag to hold this stuff, keep it easily accessible. So, the prompt, oddly, since I'm doing this on Monday, and they haven't been announcing the prompts until at least halfway through the week, this is technically week 3 of 2023, but they have not announced the prompt for week 3. They're only on week 2. So it's actually great for me because I took the first week of the year off. And so that means I'm not behind, even though I didn't start doing Inktober52 until the second week. It just kind of, I wanted to challenge myself to do all 52 even if I wasn't streaming. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but it's cool because I definitely didn't get the first one done in the first week, but it's like giving me the opportunity to do it anyway. So, this prompt, I don't think if I ever said what I was going to say in the first place. The prompt for week 2, yeah, that's why it's confusing, because it's the prompt for week 2, even though we're in the 3rd week of January, but it's the only prompt we have because the 3rd week prompt is not out yet. That's what I was trying to, that's what I was trying to say. Okay. So it's puppet. So in order to get these done fast enough, especially since I was delayed, this is one time when I was late and it was completely out of my control, late starting this stream, about 15 minutes late, completely out of my hands, but I still would like to get done with at least within the hour that I give myself to do these art streams, and even better if I can get it done at my normal ending time. I would love that because I have some more stuff that I'd like to do before dinner. Anyway, let's get started and I'll explain what I'm going to do. What I was trying to say. I have so much to say today and I keep interrupting myself and then forgetting what I'm saying. I am going to go for the first thing I thought of without thinking too hard about it. Because that, I figured out on that Inktober retreat, is the best way to get stuff done quickly. If I spend too much time thinking about it, it takes forever. So I'm just trying to, and besides, Inktober for me has been about practicing my inking skills more than worrying about having a really good composition or anything like that. So it helps me get it done faster and it's just less stress. So I'm going with my very first idea, which was a marionette. So that's what I am doing, and it's cool because it's sort of the way I draw figures anyway, sort of lends itself grammar. The way lends itself to a marionette or puppet look anyway. So let's see. So I'm gonna be like, the hands are, I'm going to have, this is a really nice marionette that has the complete anatomy jointed. I don't know if that makes any sense, but makes sense to me. This griffin's going to be flying. This griffin marionette. And since it's a marionette, I'm just going to do like a solid looking wing, not a realistic wing, but just like how would it be connected on a marionette puppet. That kind of wing. And also, how does it fit well on the page? I'm also thinking about that. So this one's a little shorter because it's a little farther away, and then it's down on this side anyway. I'll just leave this like this though. I think there would be a little line right here, but it's right in this gutter here, so I'm just gonna fudge it. Okay, and now the back legs. I don't know if I ended up saying what I was trying to say, but it was like the way I draw figures anyway, by taking the basic shapes and just making them into circles. It's really easy to make a puppet out of that because it's actually easier to draw a puppet version than to draw, oh, I did this joint backwards, than to draw actual, like, looks like it might be a real creature type of thing. Or a real person or whatever. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't feel like I'm explaining what I'm thinking. But, that's okay. I guess my point is, this is going to be easier than a normal Inktober. I think. Swipe off my crumbs into the trash can. Okay. So I did it backwards. The knee is here, so it needs to come forward. Ah, yes, that's much better. There we go. Now, it's much easier to draw something that actually is supposed to look unreal or like just an imitation. I'm gonna have the tail just be this floppy thing, as if it's just like some sort of fabric, you know, like a string or something, or like a fabric tube that's stuffed to be the tail. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what I need still is the back claw. At least on one of them. Maybe the other one wouldn't be visible. Okay, sweet. I think that's good. Now I'm going to add some more details. I didn't do any research into what a marionette really looks like, so more detailed things like how would the mechanics of opening and closing the mouth work or something like that. I am totally making this up. I have no idea how that works because I've seen amazing marionettes in action and I don't even know how they do it because it's not just like a string moves the leg up and down. They've got like things they can do to make the mouth open and turn the head, whatever. It's like, it's truly an art form that you have to learn. So I'm making it as if it's sort of almost like children's blocks stacked on each other and just imagining that they are connected like some sort of string inside. And then here, maybe these blocks are fitted. These ones are fitted and there's a little peg holding them together. And here's another peg. And I wanted these parts, the hands, the fingers, to look like they were all able to be manipulated. So I'm drawing each one individually like its own little block of wood. Oh, except this is backwards, so let me, it's an easy fix for a marionette and gryphon. Just make it look like the thumb is coming out from the other side. I don't have to redraw the whole thing, I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna make this fitted too. Nah, I'm gonna just erase this whole thumb. And then I'll just have it come down like this. There, that's better. Okay, now the body. So for articulation, I figure the front half of the body will be its own part, and then the hips will be its own part. Let's have another joint here. Now, I'm going to move on to the back leg. Do a similar thing to the front legs, where it's going to look like it was carved to let the other one rotate within it. I don't think it's like 100% feasible, but again, I'm just kind of making this up. So, as long as someone were to look at this and say, oh, it's a marionette. Oh, it's a gryphon marionette. Then that's all I'm worried about. Now, if I were doing this for an illustration, I would put in the effort to do research and find out. Well, something is bothering me. I want these to be consistent. So yeah, if this were for like an illustration and not a 1 hour live stream, 1 hour or less live stream, then I would look at all kinds of different marionettes, especially animal ones, and see how they work and how they fit together and everything. But for Inktober52, I think it's good enough just to get the idea across. Okay, and we'll make the hips. I do want it to look a little uncanny. I don't want it to look like an actual gryphon. I want it to look like an actual gryphon puppet. So I'm making this almost like a ball. The hips are almost like a ball. Excellent. Yeah, let's see. I don't think this is going to take too long at all. Now, I think what I'll do for the wings is I'll just ink the outside. And, well, let's see. I'll just make it look like feather. The idea of feathers was painted on rather than like carved in the shape. Okay. Yeah, that's good for the pencil work. I don't need to do anything else with pencil. Especially since it's Inktober, so I wanna focus on the ink work. So I move all that stuff out of the way. In fact, I'm so far on this, looking at my camera. There, now all my supplies can be on the screen. And there's still plenty of room for me, for my left hand to be here doing stuff. So, since it's a carven thing, I'm going to ink it with the liner because I'm not sure how to explain my reasoning, but I feel like something that's carven is more hard and sure rather than organic and malleable. And so for me, that equates to a hard line that's the same size all the way through. There's a cylinder that is the neck. This line indicating how the neck is not attached. They are separate things that can move differently. Separate pieces. Even making the claws are just their own separate thing that's just like, I'm imagining strings have been strung inside of the hands to connect the joints all together. There, front half is done, well, except for the wings. Even though it requires a little bit of different decision making having this gutter in the middle, I'm actually quite glad that I decided to go with the draw across both pages idea, because I like having this much room. This is the amount of space I like to have to work in. I don't like it too big either. So, like the 11 by 14, I use them sometimes, 11 by 14 sketchbooks, but I much prefer these smaller ones. But not too small either, because then it's hard to get any details in there. And the toes are just basically little round. So I'm imagining this is made out of wood, so they're like little round balls of wood for the back toes. Okay, and then this just floppy tail. Or maybe there's like a wire in it that can be activated by one of the strings coming through here or something. Okay, now these wings. I need a... My hand is sticking to the table and making it hard to do a really big line, so I'm just going to reach over here real quick. Oops, wrong drawer. I normally just use this art glove for my monitor, for my tablet monitor, but I need it for this. So I'm trying to make a smooth line by going like this. My hand is sticking to the, because I have what is the word? I have a vinyl mat on the table. This is a hand-me-down table, so there's like cuts and stuff in it. So to get it nice and smooth again, I put the mat on top. It's a perfectly good table, but those cuts are bad, like if you're drawing and then, you know, that little divot will show up in your drawing, so. Okay, so the main inking is done. I am going to take the small end of this double-ended brush pen and go along the bottom edges of everything to give it a sense of weight, like both gravity and shadow. So this is something that I shall use, and plus I want to just do one big line, I think, or mostly, to try to bring it all together too. My brush pen is really nice for this because you can start out small and then go big. Because I wouldn't want this part to have a dark line because that's actually an upper end. So I can start halfway through, really teeny tiny, and then get bigger as it gets to the really underneath part. And I'll fill this eye in while I'm at it too. I was imagining it just has a little glass bead. Little black glass bead for an eye. Oh, I just have noticed. Whoops, I pulled the whole thing off. I just noticed I didn't ink this nostril. There. I'm going to add a little thicker line wherever there's a joint too, to give a sense of the depth. If you were to look closely, you could see that it goes in. And in fact, I think I'll add even more shadow-like right there. Yep. And inside the mouth too. And let's do inside the nose too. Now I'm thinking about whether I want to use gray or black to do the wing markings that are as if they were painted on. But maybe if I use the brush pen, that'll give it an idea, a feeling, a visual feeling of it being painted on. So that it's as if, I mean, essentially I am painting it on, even now. I think maybe to help this stand out, I'm just gonna do, should I use light gray? Maybe I use a color. I haven't used a color yet. I only used grays in my last one. I made a swatch sheet too so I could see what it was like. That's what light gray looks like. Yeah. I think it might be a little much to use either of these two, but I'm going to use this purple. I don't remember what it called itself. Where's the color name? Violet. Purple and violet, close enough. I'm just going to color in the background a little bit to help the marionette gryphon stand out. Since I knew this would make a lot of marks where there's overlap between applications, I'm just doing my best to make all the marks in the same direction so that at least it just looks like a pattern or something, or a texture, instead of just random willy-nilly marks that don't look like they had any thought put into them. But when I'm doing around the outside, that's not very practical because I'll color into the gryphon. So around the outside, I just do whatever fits. Whatever fits smoothly. I gotta remember, since my puppet is specifically a marionette, gotta remember to draw the strings in before I'm done. Whew, I gotta be careful. This paper doesn't seem to like too much marker on it. It's coming up a little bit. Pilling up. Guess I'll mostly go to the edges. Doesn't need to be perfect, just trying to create a bit of separation between the background and the foreground. Oh, I missed a triangle right there. There. I think I talked about it last time because I just thought of it again. Thinking about whether I want to add a white pen to my toolkit for this. I'm still thinking about it though. So far it's been fine to just leave the paper. Because this paper is not white, it's like a cream color, so a white gel pen will stand out even more starkly. Like it might end up being a distraction rather than a enhancement. Whoops, got stuck on the gutter. Stuck on the gutter of the page. One page done. I do like that overall effect. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to just stand out a little bit. So my last drawing had a bit of an environment to it. So I didn't feel the need to color a whole big thing in like this, but it seemed like a good choice for this one. Oh, time has flown. Haha, flown. But it's been almost 45 minutes since I started. Doesn't feel like it. Try to hurry it up a little bit. It's a big open and empty area. It's kind of tedious. This also helps with this area here around this hand. Well, two hands. And it's kind of hard to tell what's supposed to be background and what's supposed to be fingers. So now that's more visible, I think. Or not visible, more distinguishable. That's the word. Because it was visible. fun. Okay, put that back. Now, I only have 15 minutes left. So I think I will use this. I think I want to use the light gray. Yeah, I'll use the light gray marker. It's technically called just gray. So to add some big shadows, and then I'll finish up with this again, this fine liner pen, to add some hatching. And then I'll be done. So these legs in the back are just going to be completely in shadow. Not really about how realistic that is. It's more about helping them stand apart from the ones that are closer to the viewer. Oops. Got a little on the other hand. Well, it's marker, so I can't take it back. Yeah, that's alright. You can barely tell. So I guess I'll do the same thing with some other areas, like this side of the beak. And here under where the head is connected to the neck. Maybe even where the neck is connected to the chest. Under the tail here. And let's see, right here. And the same thing for this. How about under the joints? I already put a little black there, but I want to accentuate it even more. And the bottom half of the fluffy part of the tail. Oh, and let's do this part too. And the neck. And I guess on the head, a little shadow as well. So sort of give it a rudimentary shaped look, since that's what I want my marionette to look like. And I'll also do under the eye, because it'll be like the eye is casting a shadow, since it's just like a little boop set on there. What else? I suppose the entire underside of this wing, based on the angle that this one looks like it's at, maybe I'll do something like this though. Pulling the ink too, so I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do too much. Maybe a little extra up here though, to correspond with the shape of the wing as it's carved. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, done with that. I'm doing well right now as far as my time goes. So did get started late, so I'd like to end right on time as far as my 1 hour at the latest. I'm already past my normal ending time as in my schedule, but definitely want to finish this. I don't want to start it and not finish it because next week is a new prompt, so there's no time. There's no time to get behind. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm just going to put the strings. I'm going to purposefully make them broken lines because I want them to look like, you know how string can kind of shimmer because it's so thin and it's reflecting light, but not every single piece is reflecting light, and as it goes down and then it moves and then it reflects light differently. That's the kind of thing I'm going for. So let's see. See, there's one in the head, and then there's one in each wing, like right here. Then definitely one on the back. And it'll also be visible up here as it goes up. And the tail, I imagine, is just sort of flopping, or maybe there's some mechanism that you can pull this string and the tail will go up and down or something. And then, yeah, I think that'll be good enough. The front, the back, and the two wings. Or maybe one in the middle. We'll do one in the middle too. I was thinking about whether to do any for the legs, but I'll just imagine that when you lift it off the ground, the legs just blop, and then if you put it on the ground, they go down like that. So you can sort of make it look like they're walking. Okay, sweet. I'm going to call that done. Okay. So I'm going to sign this. Where shall I sign it? Sign it by the back foot here. 2023. And I will write this information on it this time. Last time I did it after the stream. Inktober52. And this one was puppet. And I put the date. So today is what? I don't know. It's the 16th. So 16 January 2023. Yay! Well, I'll hold it up for a close-up view before I end the stream. Let's see if my camera... Yay! I love it when my camera focuses on its own. So here it is. Left all the scribbles and stuff from the The purple seems to be making the camera make the white look, well, like the cream paper is like looking green, but anyway. I left all the graphite from my initial sketch and everything. I think that's nice because it cuts down on time. So these are ultimately practice drawings, so I'm not worried about that extra like 5 to 10 minutes of cleanup, erasing away sketch lines. Okay, so that's it for today. I will be back on Wednesday with a lucky dip. Hopefully I'll see you then. But even if not, thank you so much for watching.